Hello, NPBF fans, coaches, New Frontiers, and anyone who happened to stumble upon this channel. Welcome to the first of the NPBF season 16 Meet the Coaches interviews. Uh, we've just wrapped up season 16 or 15 and as well as our season 16 draft. So what better way to kick it off than by letting all of you get to know who the faces and names behind all the Pokemon teams are. And what better way to start than our reigning and defending champion, Liam of the Auckland Ambipoms.
G'day, how's it going?
I don't think you could have sounded any more New Zealand than that if you tried.
Wow.
Although Anthony's gonna still think you're Australian with the g'day.
Yeah. True. That is an Australian thing.
Yeah, well, you sound very oceanic, we'll say.
Cheers. Yeah.
So, before we get into season 16, as we have mentioned, Liam, you are the Gen 6 season 15 champ. Let's talk about
Yeah.
that a little bit, you know? Let's talk about
All
season
right.
15 a little bit, since a good few games happened since the last time you and I spoke. Obviously, your week 12 game against Jason happened, and then you had 3 playoff games.
It did. Yeah.
How did that
They're
feel?
very
I mean,
difficult playoff games as well.
yeah, you had Rennie, who it was your third time facing him. You clashed with Jeff
hmm
for, I believe, the first time, and then you had your third game with Jason in the finals.
Yep. Yeah.
I bet
Well,
it feels real
very, very
good.
tough games.
Bet it feels good though to win the big one finally,
It does feel good finally.
especially
I was
after
I
the
was
summer
stoked.
season
Mm.
when you made it to the finals before.
Yeah, my first time in the A League and I made it to finals. And
You and I
then
are in a
yeah.
very unique club. I think Rennie's with us there too. We make it to finals your first season.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I've done pretty well because I went finals, semis, and now champions. So
yeah. Now you just got to maintain it.
gotta maintain it. Yeah, gotta get as many trophies as Rennie.
Yeah, I mean one more and he
That's the
says he's
goal.
gone.
Nah, I'm not letting him get it one more.
No, I mean
Not on my watch.
no, no. I mean two of his trophies you could say don't count because they're one is doubles and one is mono.
Oh right, I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know.
No, yeah, those were a couple seasons before you joined. I think we had one regular Gen 8 season between those two back to back, and then you joining us.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I'd do well in mono or doubles. So thank God.
Mono, you'd be surprised. It just as long as you don't get saddled with a really shit type like me and Rennie.
Yeah.
I
What'd you get? What'd you get?
had ice.
Oh no. I mean, Vale. That's
Oh,
about it.
well, yeah. We
You get
had the
like, oh,
rule.
was that slash rush and stuff?
Yeah, I had Slush Rush.
Oh yeah,
So
not
Sand
too
Slash,
bad.
I had Sand Slash. He was able to do some things. I had Arc Dizzle was able to do a couple things.
Yeah,
I still made playoffs. Lost to Rennie.
that's impressive.
Yeah.
With ice.
Well, Ice was really good offensively. We also we had a rule where like we obviously had 16 coaches and 18 types, so two of the types weren't assigned, so each coach
Oh yeah.
could draft one mon per those two undrafted types.
Oh, okay.
So, Fairy and Dark, you already know. Well, if I had thought about Tapu Fini, I would have taken Tapu Fini and not let Rennie get it, but otherwise,
Yeah.
everybody knows the Fairy I took.
What, Sylveon?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sylveon carried me through that season. Sylveon and Incineroar carried me, put me on their backs and carried me.
Wow. Oh yeah, Incineroar. Incineroar's a good one.
Very good mom.
Yeah.
Uh, so going back to season 15 a bit, I had some thoughts about what I wanted to know about your output on season 16, the one that we have coming up. And I don't think that's quite possible to ask without also asking about 15, because as we covered before when you and I spoke going into the playoffs, you know, very notoriously, your team went through a very drastic change in the middle of the season.
Yeah, it did.
Um, your play style changed. You adopted a more defensive play style. Well, not play style, but your team took on a more defensive style in
It got a
terms of
bit
its
bulkier.
appearance.
Yeah.
It got a lot
Yeah.
bulkier. You dropped very offensive things like Terrakion and somewhat
Mm.
offensive things like Mega Venusaur. And you picked up stuff like Sableye and Chansey, and it got bulkier,
Yeah.
which I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like that's more to your preferred play style.
Yeah, yeah, I reckon. I like balance. Not exactly stall. I don't like being that passive, but um, but yeah, balance is good.
Yeah, balance is obviously like, I mean, it's easy because then you can adjust,
Yeah,
accordingly. But like the numbers don't lie, and after that change, I think your performance really, I mean, not to say that you were doing poorly before that, but it really, really went up afterwards.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I was like 7-2, and
Yeah.
then switched teams, so I wasn't doing too bad.
No, you were still leading your division. You just
Yeah, yeah,
decided, oh, I need to win better.
pretty much. After you gave me a beat down.
Yeah. Which I mean, Sableye definitely helped. That magic bounce deterring
Yeah,
people from taking advantage of your hazards weakness. I mean,
yeah, yeah.
if you had Sableye, I wouldn't have been able to hazard stack on you.
That is true. Yeah. Sableye. It also like drafting stall. It it made my other threats more viable as well. Like if you saw my 3 playoff matches, Darmanitan popped off.
Yeah,
It
it
just
did.
put in so much work, and
Yeah, it
all of
did.
my matches they didn't even go long. They went
No.
20 to like 30
They were
turns.
all on. Yeah, nothing
Yeah, they're
really
under
exceeded
30.
30 turns,
Yeah,
and I
so
didn't
it's
even
not
think
like I
about it.
played stall at all.
I didn't realize it, but you're right. The extra bulk allowed your offense to just pop off even more. Like Darmanitan just cleaned up every single time because your bulk wore everything down.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a threat.
definitely. That's why I drafted this season as well.
Uh, has there been a season so far where you haven't picked up Darmanitan?
Nope. Even in D League. Funnily enough, I was looking at my D League draft. It's
Mm-hmm.
very similar to this one.
Oh, really?
It's incredibly similar. Uh, um, I think I had Latios instead of Hydreigon, but I had
Mm-hmm.
Landoti, I had Slowbro, I had Darmanitan, I had Roserade, I had Ambipom, and I
Mm-hmm.
had Raichu and Megamora,
Wow.
all of which I have.
Greatest hits. I guess you're trying to take another title this season, back to back,
Yeah, yeah.
just like Rennie.
I was surprised when I saw that video when Nate said I was the only one who won D League and A League.
So far, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you are the only person to you are the first and so far only guy to hold that distinctive honor. But that's also because D League is a lot more organized now than it once was. Like I skipped D League because I didn't have enough slots to fill main league.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think so did Jason.
Yeah, well, Jason started off in D League, but he came up a season before you because we had so many empty slots come up in the middle of that season that we needed to fill, whether we were kicking out coaches or coaches were leaving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sure Jason might have held that honor otherwise. Well,
I
maybe
thought
not. Well, he
I
hasn't
swear
yet.
I thought Jason was in my D League.
He was, and we called him up in the middle of it.
Oh, okay.
He got called up in the middle of it because we had to fill a team for someone who quit.
Right. Oh.
So it's interesting though that you compared, not compared, but you brought up the similarities to the team you drafted for season 16 compared to your D League team. Uh, which leads me into a curiosity I have. When you were looking at the draft pool and making plans for what stuff you wanted to pick, what sort of game plan did you have in mind as to like what play style you had or what stuff you wanted to build around? Or I guess take me through your thought
Um.
process.
Well, I always want to start. I always like you want a good A tier pick,
Yeah.
right? So I was thinking, well, what is a good A tier pick? You could. I was looking at like Dragapult. I was mainly looking at Dragapult really because I wanted Dragapult and Sizzle because I saw Sizzle was tier 2, so I was
Yeah,
like, oh, that's a great combo. They cover each other really well.
they do.
Um, Yeah, and I think I've drafted those two before as well in the
You
first
probably
season.
have. Oh yeah, you did get Dragapult before.
Yeah,
That was it.
so I know those work really well together. But then I saw when it came down to my last picks, I was because I was the wheel pick, and I saw Mega Mawile was there, and no one was picking Megas, so I was like, oh, I love Mega Mawile, like one of my favorite Megas. Just the amount of like breaking it can do. I know it's not very fast, but it gets Sucker Punch. It gets Sword Dance.
Yeah, and you can build around its. You can build around its speed.
Yeah. So yeah, I got Mega Mawile. Also, like Steel Fairy is such a good typing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then paired it with Landorus for that double intimidate. Yeah, and I thought that was really good. And Landorus can maybe do like a slow U-turn into Mega Mawile to get off a hit.
Yeah, who could also just do a slow substitute.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then I really wanted Slowbro as well, just because of teleport
I
and
keep
teleport
forgetting about how
plus
teleport
generator.
works in this gen.
Yeah, yeah, and it's such a good mechanic now. Always being slower, so it's literally the slowest form of switch. So you always get switch initiative.
Yeah.
Can like teleport into my next pick, which was Darmanitan, obviously. Yeah,
Speak of the
so
devil.
also like putting in Darmanitan in tier 3, I just pick him instantly.
Yeah, I think depending on how he performs with you this season, he might have to get bumped up to tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, even if he was tier 2, I'd probably pick him as well.
I mean,
That was like
he's good value at tier 2. He's still
yeah,
good
yeah.
value. I mean, I would probably favor it over Incineroar, who's in tier 2.
Hmm. Yeah, I think so as well.
Just
Um,
that power.
yeah, definitely. So yeah, and then I was like, oh, I was looking at some calcs actually,
Oh
and I
yeah.
was thinking, like, what are some like really defensive balls? Looking at Ferrothorn, right?
Right.
So a plus. Oh, let me just pull this up. I was thinking Mowile's like, if you run Mega Mowile with like knockoff, right? A +2 knockoff to a Ferrothorn, like it does so much. It does to a Spadef Ferrothorn. It has a chance to Oko,
Holy shit.
and to a max defense, it does after it does like around 70%, which is insane to a max defense, and it also gets like
Yeah.
things like and then Sucker Punch would kill it after, or like Via Fang if I wanted to run that. So it's Moa's crazy. So I wanted spikes, is what I'm saying,
Yeah.
basically. To like Oko things completely.
I mean,
So
I
Moa
think
took
you
a
learned
sweep.
firsthand how good spikes are.
Oh, 100%. I always love spikes. It's a bit hazards are a bit interesting this season because of heavy duty boots. So it's not the biggest deal because everyone can run heavy duty boots, which is quite
Yeah.
annoying. So removal's not insane. I do have pretty good removal this
You
season as
do.
well.
Landorus has it. Hydreigon has it.
Yeah, even Conkelda has defog.
Yeah, he does. I keep forgetting that
Yeah.
it gets it, but he does have defog. Let me pull up your team actually, so I can have a better idea of what
Mm.
we're working with. Um. Oh shit. I mean, yeah, that's your removal, but oh, I'm actually getting a good look at your team for once, and I am
Mhm.
displeased.
I've got some very nice cores. I've got the Fairy Dragon Steel core with Mawile and Hydreigon.
Yes, you do.
I have the Firewater Grass with Slowbro, Dharma, and Rose Raid,
Yeah,
and the unique Fighting Dark Psychic core, which I actually love. That
that
core.
that is a good core.
Yeah. So this is what I go through, like do these cores. This is how I draft basically. I go through these
Okay.
cores, I want to get a ground type to block volt switch shenanigans. I want to get like a fast electric type as well, which I kind of forgot about during draft and had to settle with Raichu, which is still a good pick,
I
but I
mean,
had to make him my
hey,
Dynamax as well.
Jason showed last season how good Raichu is.
Oh yeah, Raichu's amazing. I love it, and I can
I didn't
like
know he, I
that.
didn't know it gets a knockoff, and
Well, I can like Dynamax it, get the terrain up, and then rising voltage.
you can't. Oh my! I'm glad
It's
I'm
great.
glad Anthony plays you week 1 so that I can scout.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm not very familiar with the Dynamax mechanic
I'm
though.
not
I
either.
know. Yeah. I know Roserade is a good pick because I can sleep them.
Yeah, I when I said, "Oh no," looking at your team, it's because I saw that you have Rose,
Mm, yeah.
and just after seeing how well it did for me last season, I do not. You are one of the last people I want to see having access to it.
Yeah, it's an incredible mon. Like there's so many things like with especially with hidden power being back.
Yeah,
Technician hidden powers are just so good. Yeah, it's like
yeah.
can like subseed, can sleep, stun spore, you can sleep, you can even like if you wanted swords dance.
I never did that. I don't know if I recommend it, but you
Hey,
could.
swords dance, poison jab, pedal blizzard, or
You
power
could do
whip.
it. You could do it.
Yeah,
I mean, they're not going to expect it. I mean,
nah, nah,
even if
exactly.
they listen to this video, they're still probably not. I'm not going to expect it.
Yeah, and then it can run like spikes, T spikes. I love T spikes. So
Yeah.
that's another thing I always want to get is a grounded poison type.
Yeah,
So
you
I
want
can
something to soak
remove.
up T spikes just in case you
Yeah.
can't bring removal.
Yep. Yeah, and then obviously a lot of rockers, a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
you have
like
a good
this.
couple of them.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my team building process.
It's very thorough and it
Drafting.
works. Obviously, like your team is a
Mhm.
threat on paper, and we've seen in the last near year, the last 3 seasons, how well it's worked out for you. So there's no reason that this process shouldn't work out for you going forward.
Exactly.
So let's take a deeper dive into the season. We don't have to go into schedules or anything, but let's take a look at your division. Um, Notorious. I don't know. Well, we didn't. We have covered what the divisions look like in the announcement video for this season, and
Right.
it's no secret that you are in what is definitely the toughest division.
I think so, yeah. This is an incredibly hard division.
In case anyone didn't see that announcement video, which you should, it'll break down the rules and the mechanics of how we're doing this whole season. His division includes obviously Liam himself, Anthony, who made it to playoffs off of a sweet 6-0 against new division mate Steven, who made it to the semifinals, and rounding out that division is myself, who, while I dropped game 1 of the playoffs, I did win the regular season last season.
Yeah. It's gonna be a rough one.
Yeah, it is a very, very tough division. Um, Ironically, I when we were drafting up the schedules, we decided, not obviously because the viewers don't know though, that we decided to avoid as many 3-game rematches as we had last season. We're only doing one divisional rematch at the very end of the season rather than rematching your entire division for the last 3 weeks. You'll be
Oh, I didn't even
surprised to
know
learn. Yeah, yeah. You'll be surprised to learn that I specifically did not champion to not rematch you.
that.
But we're not. You
Really?
and I don't face off in the last week. The person I specifically was like, I will absolutely not fight him again was Anthony.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I fight Anthony.
Yeah, I have Steven the last week,
Mm,
which is so we're opening and closing the same way.
right. Oh, yeah. Okay, I get it.
I think that was just a coincidence for half the divisions.
Oh, is it random?
Yeah. Well, random in that like you have like there's three other names you could fight. It's gonna be in the division. I think it just so happened that us and another division all have the same games as we do week one.
Ah, I see. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So you were saying that you're not 100% familiar with Dynamax, or not, maybe not familiar, but not used to it. Is there any things you're
Yeah.
interested in trying or seeing how the mechanic works for you, given your team?
Yeah, I just don't know like everything about it. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, I know that and Z moves. I'm still not familiar with Z moves either. So I'm. It's gonna be quite new. It's gonna be a lot of trial and error.
Yeah, it's gonna be a learning experience, that's for sure. This
Yeah,
is the first time we've run Z moves and Dynamax at the same time. We have
yeah,
no
it's
idea how
crazy.
this is going to go. Absolutely no idea. And well, no, we've run Megas and Z moves. We've never run Megas and Dynamax alongside one another either.
Mm.
Okay, just looking at your team and knowing you had the wheel, I can't get over that Lander's Theory and Mega Mawile fell to you,
Yeah, yeah. I was surprised as well. Actually, I
especially
was
with
surprised Mega Man was. Yeah,
how that Mega Mawile like was even on draftable.
well, that and like, well, I like. I don't think Mega Man was too bad. I think Lopunny is also
Some
like up there.
some well, I mean, you all saw in the season 15 playoffs
Yeah,
videos, we were convinced that Lopunny was gonna just sweep you in the final game.
yeah, yeah. I didn't have many things for it. So I've got like some things about that final game.
Oh, I
So
would
you know
love to
how?
hear them.
Okay, I actually want to like pull up the replay and go through it. Might do that.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Um, let me find it. Because I did some like I did some tech for Sableye stuff, but then he didn't end up leading Lopunny, which because he led Lopunny every single time.
Right.
Just, I thought he would again because it's such a free lead.
Yeah, it is.
Um, do you want to just
Yeah, let me pull it up and we can screen share it.
yeah, yeah, sweet.
Um, the viewers aren't gonna watch it because they're gonna be seeing something else.
Okay,
But you and I can watch it, and we
cool.
can describe it. They've already seen the game anyway, so
True.
you know, whatever, right?
If you haven't, check out the video below.
Yeah, for real. Check it out. In fact, it is linked below just to make sure that you do see it. Uh, don't mind how many tabs I have open. I'm a monster.
Sorry, I did the same thing.
Okay, cool. You see that, Rennie? You see that? I'm not insane. I'm not. Liam does it too. We're totally normal.
Let's see. All right.
All right. So we'll go slow so you can break it down.
Yeah.
All right.
So I led Sableye, predicting his Lopunny lead because I had Protect. So the plan was to first not Mega Evolved and Willow. So on his Fake Out because he always Fake Out first,
Mm-hmm.
just to stop my Prankster. Then Mega Evolve after that and Protect on his High Jump Kick. And so he would lose half his HP just like that. So
Wow.
that was like the plan going in. Then obviously he led Cordon. I knew he would swap because of the Will-O-Wisp, so I like doubled into
Yeah.
Pylo on the what's his
Until
face? Togekiss.
Togekiss. Yeah. And then you
Set up
predicted the
rocks.
switch.
Yeah. Um, I there's nothing I can switch into Cordon, so I just had to
No.
get some damage. Hope he like over predicted and did crunch, and he did.
But you
It's
got that
good.
defense drop wasn't great.
Yeah, I found out he was banded though, so I could go
Yeah.
straight into Gerda. Knew he would switch here. Went for the poison jab. I knew with poison jab plus rocks it would do a lot of damage.
And it did.
ended
Plus the
up critting
crit
as well, plus the
and
poison, which was
poison.
huge. I did expect him to either like roost or um, air slash, but he ended up defogging, which was
Yeah,
interesting.
that was a bit of a head scratcher for me.
Yeah, I mean, like rocks were getting rocks off is huge still.
I
So
don't know
I
why he
didn't get
doesn't
it.
roost, why he swapped out and didn't just roost it there.
Yeah, I think he wanted to catch my Chansey because or me staying in on Chansey and him like going for a superpower or something, but he ended up setting up his own rocks.
We probably figured you were gonna predict a superpower with the Sableye switch.
Yeah, yeah, must have. Which I did, yeah. And then he went into Ditto, where I just kept spamming Nightshade because it's free.
It was.
Yeah.
And he just sacks Kiss here, and you swap. Well, he tries to sack Kiss, and you swap Chansey.
I can't remember why I did that. Oh, just so I didn't. I don't know why I did that
I
actually.
don't know why he didn't roost there.
No, I don't know either. Maybe he didn't have it.
It is very possible because the only move we
Mm,
see Togekiss click is Defog. He
yeah,
sacks the you
I
no not
sack
he you
Pylo.
sack Pylo hoping
Yeah.
for a high jump kick, right?
Well, oh, just either way, I just can't switch into anything. So Pylo's always a sack because I can't do anything with him.
That's fair.
Togekiss comes out. Drain Punch for a little bit of HP. Latios is obviously in. He doubles into Cordon, which is a good play because I was going Chansey. So he literally just gets a free kill here. Couldn't do anything about it. But since he crab hammered, I knew I outsped with Darm. So I get a free flare bits off, which is huge. And if I
Yeah,
kill
no.
Cordon,
At this point, anything he has to come in is just gonna die.
yeah. So this is, I think, where he misplayed. If you pause it here,
Yeah,
um, he went Latios,
which he shouldn't
which
have done.
he shouldn't. He should have gone back into Cordon
Yeah,
and Aqua
Aqua
Jetted.
Jet. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, Latios is a good play, but obviously he risks that chance of either me going into Lati on the Psychic or me going to Sableye or him missing the Draco,
yeah.
which
As we see,
unfortunately he
which
did.
is what
Yeah.
happened.
But yeah,
Oh,
I have no switch-ins into the Crawdon because like
no.
he has to Aqua Jet
Yeah.
and
And
then I would
I
have
mean,
to go.
I think he just misplayed. Even with the Latios, I think that should have been a psychic.
Yeah. And
That
then Ditto
crit.
comes up, it crit. I mean, either way, it would have been like if it wasn't a crit, it would have been a speed tie afterwards. So
Yeah.
still, and then fake out to kill. I can always Gerda here, and he had Latios actually. Because I was choice scarf Latios, so
Oh.
I streamed here because I knew he had to switch.
Yeah, we weren't sure why he didn't go Crawdon.
I think I streamed to a code.
Maybe, but Latios would have just been better to preserve.
Yeah, yeah. I sack Sableye there because don't need him anymore.
No.
Gerda comes in, and I like calc this. I lived it.
Was it a
Otherwise, I would
guaranteed
have.
live?
Yeah, it was guaranteed.
Jeff and I
This
weren't sure.
Aquajet, I don't know if I lived, but it didn't matter because I just went Ladi afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I knew he had to Aquajet because I might punch.
Right.
Because if he like crab hammers, he
Yeah, then you
dies to
win.
Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you did win.
yeah. I was very surprised.
It was an interesting game. It was certainly not the way a lot of us predicted. Like,
Yeah. I
a lot
I
of
saw
us.
that.
Yeah.
Everyone was the team matchups favored Jason, to be fair, and just
Yeah.
because Mega Lopunny was the hard counter to Sableye.
Sableye, Chansey, it tore through
Yeah,
defensive
yeah,
core.
yeah. It did. Even
And
offensive, like with Ladi, if I wasn't scarfed, I can't switch in on a high jump kick.
Orbital
Even if I do switch in
turn.
on a high, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like even if I predict the high jump kick and switch into Ladi, it does about 40%, and then he returns afterwards and kills me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it 2 KOs every single one on my team, apart from Gerda, which is why I brought him.
Yeah, Girder, he didn't come that much, but when he did come, he always shows up for you.
Yeah, yeah. Good is a great mon. I nearly drafted him this season.
Hey man,
Um,
you say nearly,
yeah,
but the season hasn't even started. We got transactions for like 2 months that
that
you
is
can
true.
use. You might end up picking
Um,
them.
yeah, yeah. But then like I lose either Vanillex or Raichu, which are both amazing mons. So I don't know.
Fidelix is
Gerda,
a pain in
Gerda
the
with
ass.
Dynamax. Dynamax Gerda would be good, I think. With bulk up Drain Punch,
Bulk up
or like Max
Drain
Knuckle.
Punch. Does he get
Yeah.
does he get a flying move?
Nah, nah, no way. Even if he did, the speed is way too slow. It's like what is it? It's like 40 base speed.
Probably.
Even Conk is like 45. So
Yeah, Conk is very slow. Conk is
yeah,
incredibly slow.
but yeah, that was the game.
That was the game, and you won the title off of it, and now you're coming into the season with all the momentum behind you, despite the fact that you're in the hardest division.
Yeah, and then Anthony's talking shit trying to beat me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're the guy to beat this season, man. Everyone wants a
Clearly,
piece of the
apparently,
champion.
yeah.
Everyone wants a piece of the reigning and defending.
I was just I was being very like low key throughout all the season. And suddenly, I win a title, and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go for Liam now."
Yeah. Yeah. The only way to get people off your back is to like drop your first game really, really huge.
Maybe I'll
Give
throw.
Anthony a 6-0 or a 5-0.
Yeah,
That throws him off your scent for a while.
yeah, yeah. I
You
don't
hear
think
that,
I'll have to
Anthony?
throw. Actually, he might just do it with that
He's
Bidoof of
really
his.
good. He's really good. He's really good at team building, and Anthony's team is a threat.
Yeah, definitely.
His
I was
team's a
looking. I was trying to
threat.
build against it. It's scary.
Yeah, and unlike previous seasons, he actually feels comfortable with this team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like this is the first time one of the few times he's actually happy with his team completely.
Wow. I
Like
see.
last
I that's.
season was bad.
Oh okay.
Yeah.
That's one thing I need to be like familiar with the mons. That's why like I do draft a lot of the same mons because like if they work, right?
Yeah. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. This is one of the few times where I have only drafted okay, well, three things that I've used before, but they were my team wasn't built around them this time.
Right. Yeah.
I've
Yeah. I
seen the
think
light.
I've used all of these
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Oh, except for Hydreigon. Never used Hydreigon.
He's really I mean, you've seen with me and
Yeah, you used
I,
them, eh?
yeah, I used him last season. I've used him a few times here. He's
What were
actually a
your
lot
thoughts?
better. He's a lot better in Gen 8 than in Gen 6.
Why is that?
So now he has Dragon Dance.
Oh, true.
He has Nasty Plot now.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it got Nasty Plot and Dragon Dance to Gen 8. It's a better defensive mon in Gen 8 because it has Defog,
Right.
which it didn't have
Oh,
in
okay.
and so like when I was using it in Gen 6, I basically just used it either defensively or as a Scarfer. It couldn't set up.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
I might have used it as a specs user, but like it's more like being able to use its physical stat is more viable now. You have setup options, so if you want to run some speed control with some of the stuff you have, you can, and you can make it just clean.
Yeah. He seems to me like a Mew. Like he can do a lot
It
of
is.
things,
It is. It,
and he's
it,
got a
it
lot
is
of
like a
coverage.
Mew. It's very much a Mew.
A little bit more offensive Mew, but yeah.
Yeah, it's an offense. Just a bit more of an offensive Mew without the cleric ability.
Yeah. Yeah.
But otherwise, it does everything else. It gets roost, defog, you can go physical, you can go special, you can go bulky,
You
straight up
get taunt as
bulky.
well.
It does get taunt.
Yeah.
It does a
Usen as
lot of
well
things.
is so good for momentum.
Yeah, I think Hydreigon is going to be really good in your hands. I think you're going to have a lot of I think you're going to have a lot of fun discovering the things that you can make it do. I think you got it.
Yeah.
The fact that you
Yeah.
got it like so like late into the draft.
Yeah. Yeah. I was curious about that. I didn't realize I would get because I had my mobile and I wanted a dragon, but I didn't know what to get. I nearly went Lottie again, but
I mean, if it doesn't,
decided not to this
if it
time.
works, it works. But I think you'll have a
Yeah,
good time with Hydreigon. I know last season you said you struggled with Latios because people kind of knew what to expect from you with it,
yeah.
and I
I'm
think so.
taking to do a lot of things now. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be something you're going to end up taking to your advantage because, especially in Gen 8, it's very hard to prep for because you don't know what set it's going to bring.
Hmm.
And I think it's going to fill some of the roles you wanted Latias to be able to fill in the past that it hasn't been able to fill because people are used to how you play.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun.
So, I don't know if you've taken a look at your schedule, but
I have not.
if you have, why don't you take a look now? I'm curious, out of all the matches you
Hmm.
have this season, just in the regular season, we don't have to predict playoffs yet, but which is the game that you're most excited to play?
Oh, uh, let's see. It looks like I play like every good player, so um, this is gonna be a rough one. I'm excited to play everyone. I just with all this the new changes and Dynamax and Z moves, like it's gonna be so interesting to see what other people bring, and
Yeah,
I just have to learn from that.
yeah. I don't. I think it's going to be rare that we see a game where a team brings all three gimmicks at once.
You reckon?
Well, yeah, right? Because you're going to have to plug and play your offense to and tailor it to who your opponent is, you know? Let's I guess let's look at your week 1 matchup, right?
Yeah,
Like I don't know. I don't know if I bring Diancie week 1, for example.
true, true.
You know, he's got Melmetal running around, Gliscor, Muck,
Yeah. I mean, Earth Power,
Earth. Yeah, but then Muck's
Z
just
Earth Power.
gonna. True, true. That is very, very true. There are definitely options. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be staple. I don't think all three are going to be must bring staples every week for every single person. Bring like a single mega would be, for example.
Right. What? Yeah. I don't know. I think Dynamax is just too scary. I see. I just don't know too much about Dynamax because everyone
And
complains about how
Dynamax
broken
probably
it
does
is.
have. It will probably. I think the Z Pokemon is going to be the one that's the most plug and play,
Yeah. Because even
or
even
the
Megas are
Mega.
just really good.
But the
No, I think
Megas are
Megas are
just
just
really good. They're not
yeah
just a one-off.
because they're just S tier Pokemon.
Yeah,
Or you like some are better.
yeah. B Barrel. You might get swept week 1 by a B Barrel.
Don't joke because that could happen
I'm not
easily.
joking. But we put B Barrel in Anthony's hands. This is going to be the start of his villain arc.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do about that actually. I got nothing for that. Oh,
Well, maybe, hey, does simple work both ways with stat decreases? Maybe you just constantly bringing in Lando on it.
does that work?
I don't know, but if you should look into it because if it does, that might be one of your strategies going in.
Honestly, yeah. Although I bring Lando on what a waterfall and it dies, so maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe not. No, wait. You have a simple answer to a simple Pokemon.
What's
Your
that?
Dynamax.
My Dynamax, yeah. But my yeah, okay. Yeah. It doesn't it doesn't increase its stats at all, does it? It just
No, just
increases.
its
It doubles the
HP.
HP.
It doubles the HP.
Yeah. I don't know if Raichu can take a hit
That was why
with
we
the
banned
60.
Hariyama because Dynamax Hariyama would have had like over 1,000 HP or something.
Oh wow, jeez, that's ridiculous.
If
What about like
Hariyama had been legal, I
who
probably would have
else?
drafted it round 1.
What about Lapras? Isn't Lapras have
Yeah,
ridiculous
but it's
HP?
not good.
It's a Lapras.
Yeah, but it's Lapras. Hariyama has like ridiculous just everything. Hariyama has really good coverage, really good attack stat, really good ability.
Yeah.
Like
Only thing I can think
guts,
of
thick
with
fat.
Lapras, you can just trap them.
Yeah.
That's it. Perish
One
Song.
last
Who else?
question, though, before
Yep.
we move on, before we wrap this up. I'm curious. I'm curious. It can be anybody, can be even your team. Which team, which coach do you think? Let's exclude your team because your team's gross and disgusting and very, very much suited to you. Who
Okay.
drafted your favorite team? Like of the
My
remaining
favorite.
15. Yeah, who's which coach's team do you like the best on paper going into the season? We don't know how any of these are going to perform, just what on paper looks really good to you.
I'm just looking it through one by one. Things that stand out to me is Jeff's team, the Celesteela, Milotic, and Florges. Crazy,
Yeah. Oh God, he has
crazy good
Florges. I
people.
didn't realize he had that. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Um, Gav's team looks pretty good, like very offensive with Coco, Serp, Mega Gyarados, Latios, Sylveon. That looks scary.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's
Um,
scary.
Rennie with Zapdos, Ferrothorn is just crazy. That course is ridiculous as well.
And Rotom
Yeah.
and Slowking.
Yeah, Galarian Slowking. Oh, Gramble is so underrated.
It
It's
is.
one of the
It
best.
did so
One of
well
the
for him
best
last
tier
season.
5 ones. Yeah,
It did so well for him last season, and I was a big proponent of Rennie picking up Granville when he picked it up last season. I was really glad when he said he was going to bring it back this season because it's such an underrated tier 5 fairy. It can do so much. It can be a cleric. It can be bulky with Intimidate. It gives really good coverage from when it was a normal type.
yeah. I'm looking at Jason's team right now. That's disgusting.
Thank
I
God
didn't
you're not in
realize.
that division again.
Finny, Cinderace, Tangrowth, Megalopony, Sizzle, Mandibuzz, Lando R. What? How did he get all of these? That's crazy. Anthony's team's disgusting as well with Melmetal, Gliscor. um, let's see. Your team with Muse, Haxorus, Jolteon, Nidoking. I love Licky Licky. One of my
You,
favorites.
stealing Licky Licky from you last season sold me.
um, you got Infinite, Corviknight. Yeah, your team's also insane. Miss Magius with the Z moves.
Yeah. Well, Licky, the moment I picked up, I decided I was getting Miss Magus. I knew I needed Licky Licky because I needed something to eat the ghost moves.
Yeah.
I was very much sold on that pair.
Um,
Wobbuffet's gonna do some work.
we'll see. Yeah, it might.
Yeah,
With
Shadow Tag's
especially with
allowed.
yeah, especially with like you can switch them in on a Dynamax Pokemon, right?
Yeah,
On like say a Max Knuckle. What are they going to do afterwards? They have to switch out or die.
they can't switch out though. They're tagged.
Oh, true. Right. They have to like max guard if they have it.
Yeah,
It's crazy. People are going to start running Shed Shell for you.
shit shell on their Dynamax is wasting an energy
Yeah.
slot.
Yeah. I think I'll be fine against your team though. Your Wobbuffet at least.
You will.
Because of all my U-turn and teleport and volt switch shenanigans.
Yeah, yeah. I might just have to keep Wobbuffet on the sidelines for you.
Yeah.
Wobbuffet was mostly a
Um,
joke pick anyway.
hey, it's a good pick.
It is a good pick. Good last pick.
How does Reggie Gigas work with Dynamax? Does that seem scary?
He still has slow start,
Okay,
so he would still have to
but
stay in for those 5 turns.
right, but just like waits out the slow start basically.
Yeah, so he's gonna have, in order to get slow start, the way we theorized it is Jesse would probably have to burn like all 3 of his Dynamax turns
Yeah.
before he can even hope for slow start to kick.
Yeah, it's possible though. With like the grassy terrain from Bulu as well, you could live for a
That's
while.
I didn't think of that. That's definitely what he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh
Um,
shit.
Eric's team looks crazy.
Well, Eric
Dracon, Cinera.
definitely has something to prove after last season.
Hey, his team, but Toxapex as well. Like when I say stall is bad, Toxapex is the bane of my existence. I can never break the Toxapex.
I actually almost drafted Toxapex.
I hate Toxapex to save my
I do
life.
too. I do too. Man, if I'd had
Uh,
Mew, Toxapex,
yeah.
although I wouldn't have had Corviknight then, but Could have grabbed Skarmory instead.
Man. Um, yeah, and it's just everyone's teams just look so crazy.
Yeah, everyone drafted really, really well. There's no
Yeah,
outliers for
yeah,
anyone that had a bad draft compared to last season,
true, true.
where like, everyone performed pretty decently even with their like quote unquote bad drafts, but there was some stuff on paper that was head scratching. Like James's team was infamously a head scratcher and was carried by Mega Gyarados. Jamie's
Yeah.
team was good in theory, but he just he couldn't put the pieces together and get it to work
Do you
right.
reckon? I don't reckon Jamie's team was good at all.
I mean,
When I saw that team, I was like, how does that even work?
I think
Because it was
I think on paper some of the ideas were decent. I think there were too many gimmicks going on at once that
yeah,
whereas he needed
yeah,
to fully commit. Like he didn't really commit to sand. He didn't really commit to the weird shit he was gonna do with Mega Banette.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, again, you're talking to the guy that 6-0'd him. So yeah, I don't think the team was really that great either in execution.
Yeah. Hmm.
But like, I don't think we see any of that this season. I think every team is good.
Yeah, yeah. I genuinely agree with that as well.
Every
I just
team's
realized
good. Every
BK,
coach is good.
I just realized BK has Mega Pinsir, and it's so terrifying. Magnezone as well.
Did you see his D League run?
No, I did not.
So he's coming up as the D League champion.
Right, I've heard of him before. I swear I've seen him in like other leagues
Yeah,
or seen
he's
people
really
talk about.
good. I used to be very heavily involved with him like 5 years back during the regular Sun and Moon days, and he is definitely a reason why I'm at the skill level I'm at right now.
Oh, really?
He picked a lot of stuff that he's very comfortable with, a lot of stuff that was on his winning D League team, like Pinsir was there, Skarmory was there, Magnusm was there. He got Chansey this time instead of Blissey, but he had one of the fat pink blobs.
Yeah,
He had a Nido. He had Nido King and D League, but he's got Nido Queen, which in some ways is better.
I prefer Native Queen actually. Yeah,
I do. Yeah, I just
I think it's just because of this, because
bulk
Nidoking is faster, but yeah,
and it hits harder.
Nidoking is I prefer the bulk. Yeah,
I was going back and forth on which to pick personally, but I just was like, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the offense. I have so much bulk. Let's just go offensive with this guy.
right. I feel like because Nidoqueen you can afford to go modest,
Yes, you
where
can. You should go.
Nidoking you kind of have to like you might need to go timid sometimes.
Yeah,
A lot of the
yeah,
time actually.
yeah, yeah. You're not wrong. But his team is. I was afraid that he was gonna take Pinsir, and god damn it, he did.
It did, but
And
you can't
and
run
he's
heavy
got
duty beast
Aurora
on Pinsir.
Veil.
Oh,
Abomasnow gets Aurora Veil.
oh, right. Oh, okay, okay. I got Aurora Veil as well, thankfully.
Wait, who do you? Oh
um,
yeah, Vanillux. I forgot
Vanillix.
Vanillux gets Veil.
Well, I mean, it doesn't do much apart from Blizzard, so
That's
Blizzard
that's
Freeze Dry Veil. Ice Shard. That's gonna be my set every single time.
hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. Except now I can run Hidden Power, so maybe not.
Oh yeah, that's true. You're gonna hidden powers allowed. You're gonna be able to do a lot more with Vanillux.
Yeah.
Put that baby to work.
Hmm.
Well, with that said, I think it's evident to me at least. Not that you weren't excited for season 15. We all know, we all heard it right out of your mouth. You loved the Gen 6 throwback, but I think it's safe to say that you're quite excited for season 16.
Definitely.
Well, with that said, I'm very happy to have you be the first interview. I think it's fitting that our champion be the first one to represent the new season. And I hope everyone is looking forward to not only seeing the other coach interviews, but seeing this man's debut game of the season.
Oh, it's gonna be great. I'm looking
It's gonna
forward
be
to it.
great. It's gonna be great. Oh, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Liam, before we sign off, you have anything you want to say to everyone watching?
Um, keep watching, guys. I promise I will try and make it to playoffs again and try to defend my title.
I think that's going to be pretty easy to promise to keep, personally.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, with that said, guys, I've been Alex. He's been Liam. Thank you for taking your time to speak with me. Thank you for everyone listening. Take your time listening to us speak. Go through a game that's already been covered on the channel. Gush about the draft and the new season. I hope everyone's looking forward to all the coverage and all the future interviews. And you know what? I think that's all I got to say. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you all soon.
Peace.